happened there. Let's see what's going to happen here. Serena serving.
15 love.
First game, 15 love. Serena is a very strongly built woman. But she has lost weight, don't you think, in this last 12 months?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, remember when she won Australia a year ago, unseeded. She was not in the best of shape. Really surprised everyone. It was pure determination and heart that won the Australian Open, and she has gotten in better shape. And I think, you know, now everybody expects her to win. Everybody thinks, okay, she's in better shape, she's moving better.
It makes a statement to the rest of the field, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We watched Sharapova play her first tournament, and she talked about her struggle playing on the clay and getting her footing. She doesn't like to slide. We heard Serena tell Pam she does like to slide, but has to be careful she doesn't do it too much because it makes her lazy.
40.
I really felt that when Serena won the French Open in 2002, she really enjoyed that process of learning more about hitting angles and being more patient and sliding every once in a while.
You're saying when she won the French that year?
Mm-hmm.
That was the year when she won, you know, the French, Wimbledon, US Open. Then the next year she wins Australia, making it what she called the Serena Slam. And it looked for all the world like she was going to win every slam for the next 5 years. You couldn't imagine anybody really challenging her.
But then she had knee surgery after Wimbledon. She reached the finals of, or won Wimbledon that year in 2003. And was never quite the same with her knee. And then suffered other injuries because of it.
Left.
Was there more to the story than that, MJ, or was it purely an injury story?
I think that was the beginning of the story.
Williams holds first game of this match to her. Pam Shriver courtside. Penny?
Yeah, just quickly thinking back to that Serena Slam time and just after, I think Serena went through the first trauma of her life, losing her sister, going through grief. I think that was a real setback to her career. But going back to the slide thing, I think it's interesting when you see a European player comfortable on the clay. They tend to slide into the shots and feel more comfortable doing so, where I always feel like U.S. players kind of try to slide sometime after they hit the shot, or they're not quite sure when to slide. So just kind of watch the footwork and the slide of Serena.
It makes such a difference when you feel that comfort level, whether it's sliding into your shot or after, to get your balance to recover.
Lives in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, born in Slovenia, this 27-year-old.
Srebotnik's been around for a while. She's a great doubles player. Just won the Sony Ericsson with Sugiyama from Japan in Miami a couple weeks ago. She was a great junior player. A lot of expectations were put on her early on.
Why? Again, Srebotnik even at one apiece. We're talking about the history of Serena Williams. She's 26 years old, and in my era, we used to say that 28, 29 was the optimum year to play tennis. That's when you were at your best. In general, what do you think the age is now? So do you think she's got a lot of time left?
Oh, for sure. There's no question about it.
What do you think the optimum
I think it depends on the player. I really do. I mean, you saw Martina Hingis have her best year when she was 16, winning 3 slams. I remember talking to Chris Evert about the same issue, and she said she didn't feel she played her best until she reached the age of 28, 29. That's when she had more experience. She was wiser on the court, knew so much more. So, you know, in women's tennis, we've had so many young phenoms that have played so well early on that you think that, you know.
Well, so have the men. I mean, Chang at 17 wins the French. Boris Becker wins at 17. 19 years old. Let me finish first of all. He wins Wimbledon at 17. Pete Sampras at 19 wins the U.S. Open.
True, but I think we've had more women, youngsters, do well early on. And they retire earlier. Richard Williams in the red cap here with Serena this week. A lot of errors coming off the forehand so far from Serena. Picking up her head a little too soon. Not staying through her shot. It's a great return from Srebotnik. She anticipated, cut off the angle.
Great point.
Another terrific first serve from Serena, setting up the forehand put away. You know, Serena's already won 8 Grand Slam titles, and probably hard to say she's going to win another 8, but there's no reason why, if she's healthy, that she can't win more. Especially with that serve.
There is no doubt about that. On serve, 2-1 per set. We're in Charleston, South Carolina. Warm welcome back to Charleston, South Carolina, everybody. We're on Daniel Island. It is to host this championship. Daniel Island is an award-winning island town located within the historic Charleston, South Carolina area. It was integrated into the island's natural beauty. They've got traditional neighborhoods, community parks, bicycle walking parks, and It's hosted this event now for a long time and has brought international players here who really enjoy this area. We were talking earlier with Conchita Martinez, who was saying how nice it was to come back and go to the old restaurants. By the way, the food here is outstanding. 2-1 on serve, first set. Srebotnik serving to Serena.
Good aggressive return from Serena. Serena winning her 5th Sony Ericsson Open in Miami. She beat Justine Enna in the quarterfinals. Not only beat her, she beat her quite easily, and I think that was a turning point for Serena with her confidence.
By the way, MJ, I meant to mention earlier about Sibylkova. She lost here in the first round and pulled out of her first round match with a back injury, which may have been, partly something that started out in the last tournament.
Well, she lost in the finals to Sharapova, and Amelia Island had a great week beating Mauresmo and Chuck Badazzi along the way.
Good news for Radionova is that she's on the board at last, 6-11, 5-1 for Jelena Jankovic. That's on the Althea Gibson court.
Well, it's a huge return. It's dangerous to serve out wide to Serena. She times it well. Just a rocket ship across the net.
Now Serena with a chance to break. Srebotnik had a chance on Serena's last serve game. Serving into the sun is an issue here again at this time of the day, and that double fault gives Serena Williams the first break, 3-1.
It's actually getting worse, in the ad side. Earlier, when we first came on, it was a little trickier on the deuce side as the sun moves more over to the right. That ad side's treacherous.
So you have the combination of the sun and then the big return. You might see a few more double faults from that end from Srebotnik. Serena always talks about her serve as being the key to her playing her best. When her serve is on, when she's winning quick points, acing her opponents, because everything else falls into place. And I think on clay, it's going to be very important for Serena to be really mixing up her serves, not always going for the big first serves, using the variety that she has at different placements.
Another reminder that if Serena Williams wins this match and Maria Sharapova wins her match to be played later today, the two of them will play in the quarterfinals tomorrow. I would be inclined to bet that will be your 1 o'clock match tomorrow. Don't take that to the bank, but that's what...
I think there's a pretty good chance. Remember, Serena played Maria twice last year, barely lost games, including the finals of the Australian Open. One break point save. It's important for Serena to keep her intensity up throughout. We've seen a couple great points, but then a couple casual errors from Serena.
Okay, that's a sweet forehand there from Srebotnik. She breaks back, so we're on serve now, 3-2. Srebotnik, Slovakia will serve, and we come back to our live coverage here of the Family Circle Cup. Continuing our live coverage here, everyone. Just take a look at this from Althea Gibson. Caught a lot of court coverage here from the Russian as she loses that point, but she's won 2 games in a row. She was down 6-love, 5-love. Now it's 5 games to 2 as she's taking on the number 1 seed, Jelena Jankovic. We'll keep you posted on how that turns out. Jankovic actually, right now as we speak, has got 40-15 on Rodionova. That's 15-40 on Rodionova's serve, and it is looks like it's going to be a Jankovic win.
Still A+ for effort for Rodionova, just getting run all over the court, and she was down 5-love, so nice little small comeback there. Good comeback for Srebotnik. Be able to break back right away on serve. Still not quite set up properly with her footwork on the forehand side. Likes to hit the open stance, Serena. She's still leaning away from the ball a little too much. Better preparation that time. Srebotnik having to defend, but better feet there to prepare to hit the forehand. And Serena's always been known to get her racket back really early, but now it's about the feet for her on this surface and on any surface, but it's more evident on the clay.
Tall Mary Jo, and she uses her height well. And she's at full stretch on that first serve ace.
She really uses her legs well. Get a little more power to lean into her serve. Her serve and her forehand, those are her 2 weapons.
30-15. Srebotnik, 35 years celebration for this championship, and they've invited a lot of the former winners. Chris Everett accepted, Martina Navratilova, Rosie Casals, Conchita Martinez, you met her earlier today, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario, Mary Pierce, Jennifer Capretti, even Mayoli. Srebotnik holds. So it is 3 games apiece in the first set. Moments ago, Jelena Jankovic, match point, had very little trouble in this match. Lost 2 games here in the second set, but then closes it out. MJ?
Very steady performance from Jankovic. Only 8 unforced errors. Served 80% of first serves. So she'll like this performance. She's through the quarterfinal. Remember, she's a defending champ, and now she takes Vera Zvonareva on in the next round.
That's Jankovic's draw, which looks a little more pleasant than the bottom half, doesn't it?
A little bit, but they're good clay quarters in there. Zvonareva is going to be tough. Tough matchup between Dementieva and Azarenka, the youngster. Another youngster, Radvanska, against the veteran Schneider.
Kari Schneider's had success here on this court.
Well, it's been Serena trying to do more out there, but she's doing a few too many unforced errors. The serve's getting her out of trouble in this game.
Srebotnik is ambling over to check the mark. Now she's satisfied with the ace. Call. Game point. That looked really, so that's the kind of shot you see and you say, okay, Rio at home, they can club him too, but don't forget about the sun there. It's a real issue.
Yeah, I just spoke to Srebotnik's coach, Biljana Veselinovic, and that's one of the things she wanted her to do is when Serena offered up a short ball, second serves, whatever, just pounce on it. And the other important thing from the coach's standpoint is when Serena dominates with some huge power, don't let that send you into a defensive mode. Just stand up to it.
Well, her attitude's been great, Pam. She told you she wasn't intimidated at all, and it's showing. She's very intense out there. She is trying to go for shots when they're there to hit. And here she has a break point.
That is a breaker serve against Serena Williams, and Katarina Srevotnik of Slovakia will serve when we come back with the lead. Four games to three. Katarina Srevotnik leading by that score, and she will serve. She's got the breaker serve. Here is Srebotnik's serve. Biljana, who, by the way, happens to be Pammy doing her homework. She's a gamecock, right, Pammy? Well, look at that, talking to her there, getting this information. She is from the University, or she was at the University of South Carolina in Columbia for 4 years. And then Pammy signing an autograph, having done her homework.
A little bit of everything. Just another day at the office for Pam.
Columbia, where she was at school, that's the coach I'm talking about now, is about an hour and a half drive from here. That's really strong. Really good feel on the drop volley from Serena.
We're starting to see some emotion from Serena, and that's what happens on the clay court. You have to be prepared for difficult bounces. That was a difficult volley. I always think Serena plays better when she's showing emotion.
Wow.
A little extra on this return from Serena. She's inside the baseline. Takes the return early.
Digesting your statement that Serena plays better when she shows emotion, but she usually does, doesn't she? I mean, it's very. Although sometimes you see her pretty flat.
Yeah, like when she lost in Australia to Jankovic in the quarterfinals, didn't see a lot of emotion. In the beginning stages of this match, she's been pretty mellow. Not until this game have we seen her show a little bit more. So, remember in Miami, she was getting upset at herself. She had so many opportunities to close out Jankovic. Was up 5-love in the third, missed match points, and then at 5-3 she took her racket and crushed it, and then it almost like calmed her down.
That was in the championship match.
Good defensive lob there from Srebotnik. Serena in a tough position in the court. Tried that doubles alley. Let the ball drop a little too much.
Mary Jo, I think this is one of those coaches' moments where Biljana will be looking at Srebotnik's attitude after Serena really swung away early in this game. Had a few powerful winners. Srebotnik's hung in there, fought off a couple break points.
Definitely. I mean, against someone like Serena, you have to stay with her as much as possible. And then you have to expect you're going to see those powerful shots go right by you. Got to weather the storm sometimes.
That's long. There's emotion. Break point again. Down the break.
Yeah, Serena knows this is a critical stage in the match. In this first set, trying to get the break back.
Lost in all of that was a great half volley from the baseline, by the way. slipped.
I think she slid on the line. Her foot got
Yep.
It got stuck,
Caught.
I think. Yeah.
Boy, she really went over hard, too.
That was a hard fall.
What happened to the rest of the point? I was so absorbed with watching her fall. Let's see. I think the point goes to Srebotnik, right? What's this?
Srebotnik ended up getting to this shot. I think she got lucky. She didn't really go over on the ankle.
Have a look. No, it wasn't the line, Pam.
It was before the line.
But Srebotnik tracked that one down and wins the point, so it's deuce.
And we talked so much last week, Cliffy, about when you're a little unsure on the clay and with the movement and you have a fall, you get so tentative from that moment on. So we'll see now Serena, these next couple points, how she's moving.
That was a big point, too, by the way, because she had break point. And now it's game point for Srebotnik.
I want to see, her right ankle. She's sliding into this. Right there could have gone over, but she stopped it just in time. And if I'm correct, maybe Pam has a better angle. I think she tapes both ankles to play.
Yep.
And that's something I think everybody should do.
That protected her.
Mm-hmm.
Game point Srebotnik. Too tough. Deuce.
Left. First serve.
2 points ago, right after she fell and recovered, walked back to the baseline and muttered to herself, "Give me a break." And I'm not sure if she was literal or figurative or both, but she needs a break back.
Well, you make the point, Mary Jo, that you can be pretty tentative when you've just had a fall and you're not sure about the surface. Watch this. A little bit of a slide, but you see, almost protecting it now. Game to 3 for Srebotnik. You know, if you take a look at the top women players in the world, Mary Jo, I wonder if you can remember a time when it was so open a field. I mean, look at, you've got Sharapova, you've got Serena, you've got Venus, obviously, Justine, you've got Ivanovic, you've got Yankov. There's a lot of contenders to win slams now.
Absolutely. After Serena and Venus dominated in 2002 and the beginning of 2003, it has been much more wide open.
Not
excluding
to
the
forget
French.
Kuznetsova,
Right, Kuznetsova's up there. Excluding the French. I mean, the last 3 years, it's been won by Justine Henin. You get to that tournament, you just know that she's the one to beat. But I think this year's could turn out to be a little differently. Justine having some injuries, having trouble with her right knee. Has not played all that well this year. Well hit from Srebotnik. She's accelerating through her shots. She's doing exactly what her coach told her not to get defensive. an easy thing to do, but Srebotnik's been able to get on top of the Serena Williams second serve and dictate from that moment on.
Another
great example. Second serve, and she's looking to be aggressive, looking to use her forehand, her weapon.
Pretty flat ball, too, that forehand side. And that really fires off the court.
Oh, yeah, she's got great racket head speed, and it gives her a set point.
Left, aggressive.
You know, another thing Srebotnik's done this game is held Serena up a couple times, put the hand up. She's doing a good job, Srebotnik, not letting Serena speed up the pace of play.
After that fourth ace, Srebotnik comes right back. Again, that forehand has been lethal. It's that point.
She gets another look at a second serve. We'll see if she continues to apply the pressure. Srebotnik tried to.
Wide, another set point. Serena Williams the first to break serve in the set, and then Srebotnik got her back. And Srebotnik broke, and he has another chance to break on set point. Translation of what I just said, MJ, is that Serena's having trouble holding serve today. A lot of trouble.
Well, she's only 5 of 15 with her second serve. She's serving at 62%. She had better contact there with her forehand a little bit earlier. It's one of the longer rallies that Serena's won so far in this first set. The longer the rally it's been going is Srebotnik.
Looking at these, you know, you've said a few times, MJ, that Serena's forehand can sometimes, be a little delicate. And I'm looking at the comparison between the way these two hit. Srebotnik's got a much more compact, shorter swing. There's less that can go wrong with it than with Serena's. Ace number 5 for Serena. This is game point for her, but she's still down a break.
I really think with Serena, it's more about her preparation and her footwork with both her ground strokes. Today, it's the forehand that's been misfiring. Half her unforced errors have come from her forehand.
That is long, and Serena in trouble in that game, but nevertheless holds on. A couple of set points against her on her serve, but she's still in it. Serena Williams here being worked on, and Jade, do you think, is this somehow related to the fall that she took?
I think for sure it's related.
As she just joined us, she went over pretty hard. Just take a look at this. As she's sliding into the ball and then nearly goes over on that right ankle. Another look.
Ooh. Very close. She got very, very lucky, and she has both ankles wrapped. I think that probably saved Serena. But it's the right ankle that Nadine Wahey from the WTA Tour tended to.
Thoughts, Pammy?
Well, not an official injury timeout. This has all been done during the change of ends, but Srebotnik's coach has come out to say a few words, which you can do during an injury timeout to the opponent. But I'll tell you, something about falls. Not only physically can they take its toll and you can have an injury, but I tell you, emotionally, you can be a bit shell-shocked, lose some confidence, feel embarrassed that you fell. And I feel like Serena was very subdued the couple of games after the fall, not just physically, but also emotionally.
So just so everybody understands, you're allowed to come out and call a coach once in a set. But if your opponent has got an injury timeout or is being attended to by a trainer, you get that opportunity to talk to your coach as well at the same time. Again, Pammy Schreiber talking about how this can affect you when you hear it is in real time as she goes over. You said the same thing, Mary Jo, that it can sort of affect you mentally.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That was on a break point, back on serve, so it was a big point, and Serena had gotten to that drop shot with plenty of time, so she loses her balance, now loses a little confidence in the movement, but still a great effort. She had to fight off 2 set points on her own serve, and now Srebotnik will have a chance to serve for the first set.
On the plus side for Serena, maybe Srebotnik a little upset that she didn't convert on either one of those 2 set points, but she's up 15-love.
Two great serves.
I was just thinking, is she also upset perhaps because Serena didn't call the trainer right away, waited a long time, and then all of a sudden when Srebotnik's about to serve at 5-4, then there's the delay with the trainer. Serena's slow to come out.
Well, it's a good start, though, for the Slovenian. This is where it comes down to belief, having that courage to stay with your game plan, stay aggressive.
You're watching live coverage, everyone, of the Family Circle Cup. We're at set point as you are watching Serena Williams and Katarina Srevotnik, Slovakia, Serena Williams from the USA. We are in the first set. It's been a seesaw battle so far. Cliff Drysdale here, Mary Jo Fernandez, Pam Shriver at courtside. Set points, 40-love, Srebotnik. Solid game. She did not flinch, no panic at all, and Srebotnik has won the first set. Interesting when you look back on those, how much time she spent at the net, and you just don't see that anymore.
That's so true. And it's a great example of someone who was great on fast courts, but she also played well on the slow clay.
First set to Srebotnik. What you got, Pammy?
Oh, Cliffy, excuse me while I reminisce a little. About 30 years ago, I actually lost to Martina in my first Family Circle Cup. It's just had an amazing history, this championship. But I spoke to Nadine, who tended to Serena at the 5-4 game, and she said that all she did was added some tape. But according to Nadine, Serena evidently has had a couple other moves on that right ankle that has not felt good on the clay court.
Well, and perhaps that's why she's having trouble to set up to hit her forehand. She uses that right leg a lot with the open stance on the forehand wing, and that's where most of her unforced errors are coming in this match.
Oh, yes. Great angle from Serena on that. As she wins the game. Let's take a look at the forehand side here of Serena Williams, because it's very interesting to watch. We talked about how long this swing is. Now get ready to freeze this for me, guys. Right there, freeze it. Look, that racket is very high now. She's got a lot more shoulder turn to go. Let it go. She goes down now. There's a lot of racket head work there, right? And then she goes through from low to high with the topspin shot open stance. Now take a look at Srebotnik. This is very different. There's not near as, this racket does not get as high, does it? Just take a look. You see that's a lower, it's a more compact swing, this one now. Let it run as she comes through the ball. Again, she gets slightly below it, not as far below it as Serena does, so it's a flatter swing. But it's more compact, and I think that helps on this particular court.
Cliffy, I don't have a monitor down here, but that sounded beautiful.
It looked even better.
Sure did.
You know, the only thing I disagree with, Cliff, is that on clay you have more time. So
that's true.
You do have time to do the bigger swing.
That is unquestionably true, Mary Jo. The only reason I say it is that the slippery court with a high bounce.
They both hit the open stance on the forehand wing.
Well, let's face it, MJ, probably 75 to 80% of forehands hit on a clay court by the entire field now with the open stance.
True, it's changed since the days when I played and Pammy played. But that puts that much more emphasis on your right leg. That's where you need to transfer the weight from. You really need to be strong on that side.
Oh.
Great forehand on the run this time from Serena. She doesn't decide to slide into it. She decides to hit it first and then slide. Kept her eye throughout that shot. Right on the ball.
You know, Mary Jo, I'm looking at the slide mark on that last big forehand out wide, and she actually slides with the whole length of her foot, where I'm just wondering if clay court players who slide the best don't slide a little bit more toe forward. I think you can really catch an edge if you slide with, you know what I'm saying, the whole length
absolutely.
of the foot.
Well, we can watch Srebotnik because she slides well. See how she leads her slide.
One apiece in the second set.
You know, most hardcore players like Serena and Sharapova, they like to plant themselves. They like to have that really solid base for their balance. You don't get that on a clay court.
Serena Williams gets a bye in the first round here. This is her first clay court tournament of the year. Srebotnik, on the other hand, played last week.
Right.
Practiced, obviously, in very similar conditions. She's got 2 matches under her belt here because she didn't get a bye. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
I sure do, and it makes a difference for sure. The more time you spend on a surface and the more comfortable you can get.
Especially if it's not your favorite. And then we talked about this last week as well there in Amelia Island, and when you start to lose confidence on a court that is slippery, it can be a slippery slope. Love 30.
But if you can get through these moments and these challenges early on, which is what Sharapova was able to do last week, and she had trouble moving, she had trouble in her matches, she got down in a couple of them, but she found a way.
Very good point.
Srebotnik has been throwing everything at Serena. She's been aggressive, but she's also had great variety. She's thrown in the slice, and now another shorter ball drawing Serena in. Serena not sure what to do with that short shot, and now she's down 2 break points.
That goes back onto Srebotnik's side. Still a chance for her to break here. Early stages, second set. Open. Open court, she should have put it away. Had to hit another one, but gets back at deuce.
A little tentative still from Serena. A little unsure. It was a couple points ago.
On the line. That was big. That was really big. Now she's had 3 break points in this game against her serve.
Yes.
You don't see Serena go to the drop shot that often. That time a good one, and a lot of emphasis on putting that forehand away. It's wide.
I do enjoy it.
Wow. That's a good comeback from Serena. She was in all sorts of trouble. On serve to 1, second set. Serena Williams struggling just a little bit on the clay here. Srebotnik winning the first set, on serve in the second. And let's take a closer look at Serena's footing here as she approaches this point, which was important. Let's roll it, guys. This was in the last game. We talked about it a little bit, but I want you to have a look at it here in a more close-up position. Here is a slice backhand. Now, this thing is setting up now. So Serena comes into the net. Now, freeze it right here, please. Right there. That's fine. Now, her choice is to slide into this ball. Look how high the ball is. There's plenty of height on there. And she could hit her two-handed. But does she? No, look. Not one. No slide at all. And then a sort of a tepid slice right in. That is all about the surface here and about not being confident on clay yet.
On a hard court, she would have got to the ball and hit with two hands. She had plenty of time, and she would have been in an offensive position.
On serve, 1-2. That's long, left 15.
Love 15.
Been looking over to her dad frequently during this match.
Left. No, sir.
That's what we're used to seeing Serena attempt to do most of the time. Attack that second serve, take some balls out of the air.
Is wide, and here's a chance for Serena to come right back and break serve after being in so much trouble on her last serve game.
You know, we had Conchita Martinez with us at the start of the show, and you know, she said that when she would switch from hard to clay, she said the most important thing was you stay with your game, you stay aggressive, you just have to be a little bit more patient. And I think Serena needs to remember that. She still has to play her game. Good.
Called good, and Serena gets to break the serve, so she has a 3-1 lead in the second set after losing the first. We continue our coverage tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time here on ESPN2. Warmly invited to join us for that. Look, the draw is such that the potential matchup, if they both win today, obviously, would be Maria Sharapova and Serena Williams. Enough said. I'm sure you'll be encouraged to be alongside us for that. And just so you know, Saturday, Sunday, same time as well, semi-final and then championship match on Sunday. While we're talking business, by the way, ESPN just announced that we've re-signed for Wimbledon for another 6 years starting next year. So fish and chips time continues.
All right. It's great news.
If you go for the fish and chips, I'll go for the pens and strawberries.
Strawberries and cream.
I thought that would get some reaction from you. Serena wanted a specific ball for her hand here to start the serve at 15 all. Drop shot in good. Very delicate.
Great disguise from Srebotnik. Because she can go to the one-handed slice, we don't know if she's going to hit it deep, and that time she just, beautifully brought Serena in.
No, that's too tough. A slight mishit, I think, on that first forehand on the return from Srebotnik, and then an easy put-away forehand for the chance to get back onto serve here.
Exactly what happened in the first set. Serena got the early break, led 3-1, and Srebotnik was able to break right back.
Deja vu all over again, and it is Srebotnik to serve, and we come back to our live coverage of the second clay court event of the year for the women, Family Circle Cup. The Citadel is a learning institution here that is connected to the military, and it's right here near Charleston, as the stadium court here at the Family Circle Cup hosts this second clay court championship of the year. 6-4 first set, Srebotnik on serving the second. She's serving at 2-3.
Really look at their body languages, Cliff, and in this match it's been Srebotnik who's been more positive. Has really not let anything get to her, even when she's been down. Has fought right back.
No, I was just thinking that a couple of games ago, she's showing no panic in
at
this
all.
match. And she's not overawed by the Williams presence, which happens a lot.
It's true. And Serena, on the other hand, just a little more sign of unsureness. I mean, she's looked over at her dad a couple times, and a little bit of disbelief that things aren't going better than they should be. It's been frustrating because she's had chances. Even though she hasn't played her best, she still has had chances to be up in this match.
First.
They haven't played in 6 years, but Serena dominated both times they played. Look at that. Srebotnik had never won a set, and she'd only won 6 games in 2 matches. She's already won a set in more games. So, totally different story for Srebotnik out there today. asked Cliffy in the beginning when Srebotnik said that she felt she was better. She told Pam she's improved a lot in the last 6 years. Serena as well. Whether Serena had improved, and I think the biggest difference is the consistency. She's not as consistent in her performances as she was 6 years ago, Serena.
He also had that thing that Federer has had going for him for the last 4 years, which is that when anybody takes the court against him, they figure they might as well make a reservation home because he has been so dominant. And then that changed, so the rest of the field gets a little more confidence against a player like Serena. 2 points for Serena. It's deuce.
Another big forehand from Srebotnik.
She has 7 forehand winners.
That's the shot she looks for. That's the one she wants to get, the short ball, so she can really accelerate and take control of the point. One thing we do know with Serena, might not be as consistent day in, day out, but her desire when she's on the court is always there. She never gives up. She always fights.
Got it. Now Srebotnik says this was wide.
And Welch getting out to the chair to check the mark.
She seemed really confident about this being wide. Let's see what Lynn Welch says. She calls it out. So the point goes to Srebotnik, a huge overrule. Game point instead of break point. Wide. What do you think, Penny?
Well, the last change of ends, I wandered around to have a talk to Richard Williams, who through the years has been pretty open to chatting with me on camera. He declined, and I asked him, I pressed him, I said, why is Serena so frustrated? Is it the clay? Was it the fall? He didn't want to answer, but he just said it's something else. What that something else is a mystery, but she's not herself right now.
Quick points going for Serena in this game.
Oh, ace serve for Serena. Live coverage is what you're watching of the Family Circle Cup. We're in Daniel Island, everyone. Charleston, South Carolina. Cliff Drysdale, Mary Jo Fernandez, Pam Shriver at courtside. Serena Williams Katarina Srevotnik, second set, 3 apiece. First set, Srebotnik in a surprise. Game point, Williams for 4-3. Oh.
It's a little pace of play game going on right now between the two players as we see the huge return on the last point. But Srebotnik made Serena wait twice the last time on the deuce court, and on the last point, Serena made Srebotnik wait.
Oh. No argument there, but Srebotnik is striding pretty confidently to the sideline. She's trailing, but we're on serve in the second. Srebotnik on the first. Where history lives, it's very appropriate. This is a look at the Custom House downtown here, and it's fascinating to be a part of this history, to enjoy it. Of course, you get great weather here as well, great sports, and you have the seaside. It's a magnificent place, and I've never come across anybody who, if you say, "Hey, I'm going to Charleston," they say, "Great place to go. I love it."
True. So much to do.
With Vittles 4-3 on serve. Here's Srebotnik serving with the sun behind her to try to level the second set.
Ball 15.
You're up a set on serve, but now the pressure builds. Double fault, first point. By the way, that was only her third double fault of the match. Anyway, she comes back, does Srebotnik in this game, and it's even at 15 all. What was that, Pammy?
An audible obscenity. Serena's down the far end for me, but just goes right into the frustration point we've been making. She is just ticked, and I think it goes right now to Srebotnik and sort of the inconsistent pace of play.
15.
Explain that, Pammy. What do you mean? Inconsistent pace of play. What do you mean?
Well, held Serena up a couple times in Serena's last service game, and I think Serena really went out of her way to let Srebotnik know she can be in charge of pace of play on the next point, and made Srebotnik wait. There's just some games going on. There was quite a stare going to the change of ends in the last. Serena really gave Srebotnik a big stare.
Yeah, I've noticed that one, Pam, after she hit the big ace to go up 4-3. She stared at Srebotnik for a while. Srebotnik never looked up, so she didn't see it.
30-15. Oops. Is this the stare down? Watch this.
14-15.
It lasted a long time. But she's got to find a way, Serena, to channel this frustration into a little bit more positive
Game point.
attitude here. Better. I think Serena should notice when she's having to run too much or defend too much against a player like Srebotnik, who really isn't known for her power. Yes, she can accelerate, and she's got a bigger forehand, but it's not bigger than Serena's. She shouldn't be getting pushed around the court so much. She's got to enforce her game sooner in the rallies.
That was a little unlucky for Serena because that ball clipped the line and stayed really low. That's what happens on this clay court. If the thing hits the line, it can either jump up sometimes if the line is slightly above the level of the court, but most often it's going to just slide like that ball did, and she lost her timing. Anyway, game Srebotnik, it's 4 apiece.
And now the pressure turns to the Serena Williams racket.
Got to reach especially into the sun.
15 love. Srebotnik was there. She just held her ground, didn't move to the open court, as many players tend to do, especially on clay. Had a chance at the pass, missed it. Yeah, and I think this is a time for Serena to really draw on her last couple wins. She's won the last 2 tournaments she's played in, Miami being the big one. Some confidence in the great results.
Yeah, it's a solid game from Serena, serving into the sun. Now Srebotnik's going to be faced with that. And the pressure's going to be on. She's up a set, but she's down 4-5. By the way, the numbers that are coming out of the Tennis Industry Association are very, very positive for tennis. It's the fastest growing participant sport in the country, apparently. The last 5 years, there have been more and more tennis balls, racket sale, and apparently more balls hit than ever, tennis balls that is, and it's good news.
That's great news.
It's gratifying.
Yeah, the USA just launched a program for young children called Quick Start, which is, I think, going to be very successful for smaller rackets, smaller courts, lower net, making it more fun for kids right away.
Heads up at love 15, 4-5. Srebotnik serving on that sun side. So if ever there was a moment for Serena Williams to make Srebotnik play, this would be it. Don't give away any free points. Serena came very close to touching the net. Watch this again. Now she can't touch the net when she gets this close. Here's the drop shot. She comes in, and then watch her reaction afterwards. She's staying away from it, because if she touches the net, she loses the point. Remember that happened last week?
That's right, it happened to Sharapova.
$30-all. Huge point. Set point coming up.
30.
What a shot to try. It's such a big point. Srebotnik did not see it coming at all. Totally cuts under the ball. Got a lot of spin. That drop shot just died. Set point for Serena.
Oh, what a shot. That's 2 brilliant points in a row from Serena Williams as she comes through there. The slice from working well for Srebotnik, and she has Serena on her back foot. Look at that. She recovers in time to get to this one and hit the backhand, this time not with one hander, but a big two-hander cross-court clean winner. Set apiece, set 3. And we come back to our live coverage of the Family Circle Cup. Family Circle Cup Stadium hosting this Family Circle Cup, everybody. Serena Williams winning the second set 6-4, but it was very close. It's set apiece, third set coming your way. First round NBA playoffs getting underway on ABC and ESPN this Saturday. On ESPN at 12:30 p.m. It's going to be Washington and
Cleveland, baby.
For Mary Jo's hometown, and then ABC at 3 p.m. Phoenix and the Spurs.
You watch out for Cleveland this year. LeBron James.
You know, you don't say that with that much conviction.
Oh, come on.
I know where your heart is, and you know
Well,
where
the
your
Heat
heart
had a horrible season, so right now my heart is with Cleveland and the Cavaliers.
Yeah, but don't forget the Dolphins. They're going to come.
Hey, Clippy.
Yes.
Clippy, I'm actually with Katarina's coach, if I can interrupt.
Oh,
your
sorry,
NBA
go ahead.
Chat.
Pardon me.
Bill Johnny, you just went down to talk to Katarina. What were you expressing in this third set?
Yeah, I was telling her to stay positive because it was obvious that Serena was very positive with herself when she was almost losing and going down, and by being positive she stayed in. And now it's very important that Katarina is not going down mentally on this, because she is definitely having a game to win this match.
It looked like there was a little bit of gamesmanship about pace of play during that second set. Did you notice anything, a little tension between the two?
Yes. I am not sure what Serena was saying, but I didn't have time to ask Katarina if she got it, but it's not time to think about it now.
And you love South Carolina, don't you? Spending a little time here.
I love it.
Thank you.
First point, Srebotnik, and good advice from the coach. I mean, that kind of thing it really can make a difference, because she's dead right. You can get down on yourself in a hurry if having just lost the set, but 15, she wins the first point.
And that's where having a coach come on the court can really make a difference. I mean, I think it made a difference when Srebotnik went to serve for the first set. Serena had the injury timeout, so the coach came out, kept her positive, and now for her not to get down on herself, which is just human nature after you lose a tight set. Serena's got to be feeling better now. Has not played her best, has struggled a little bit with her footwork, with her forehand. She's right back in this match.
little cat and mouse there. Gee. One should have been over. 2 swings before it ended up being over.
It all started with the drop shot from Serena. She could have put that one away. Just guided into the open court. Then the volley. So she allowed Srebotnik a couple chances to get back in that point.
Serena Williams holds first game of the third set. Meantime, Elena Dementieva is in action out on the Althea Gibson court. She has won the first set again as Azarenka 6-4 in the first set. It's 1 apiece in the second. Dementieva is the number 4 seed here and looks to be sort of, I couldn't say come all the way back, Mary Jo, but she's got a little more confidence than she had 6 months ago anyway.
Starting to win some more matches. Still a little bit up and down with her game, Dementieva. It's a big game now for Srebotnik. Serena has won the last 3. Definitely been a momentum shift. Taking the initiative earlier in the point these last couple games. So I think she's starting to get her timing and her footwork a little bit more under control.
That's a double fault. 15-30. Serena Williams is an artistic player. You know, she has these emotions that you were talking about earlier, Mary Jo, and she uses the emotions often to help her game. But you're so right about one thing, is that she's so tenacious. I mean, you can see her sometimes struggling with herself mentally, but she doesn't let it get her down. That said, Serena Williams is going to have to earn this match because Srebotnik has continued to play very strong tennis, very consistent. She shows no sign of a mental lapse herself.
That's well done. One of the best constructed points of the match for Serena right from the start. No mistake that time from Serena on the overhead.
Without looking at your monitor, don't look at your monitor.
Okay.
Who's won more total points in this match at this point?
Srebotnik?
The same.
Right on the same.
Right on.
I didn't look at my monitor quickly.
Good job, Pammy. That was a trick question.
Same point. Williams holds, so we're on serve here. This has become absorbing stuff, this. Very close, very interesting on serve.
First set, Serena Williams led 3-1 and then lost her serve a couple times. She had break point to get back on serve against Srebotnik. Srebotnik hits this drop shot. Looked like Serena got there plenty of time, but she almost rolls over her right ankle, falls down hard, loses the game, loses this first set. And in the second set, a little bit similar, that she got up to a big lead 3-1, but then she persevered. This is on set point, guesses right, comes up with the passing shot. You see the match summary. A lot of unforced errors for Serena Williams. That's why this match has been as complicated for her as it has been. She has more winners, but the big points, she threw in too many unforced errors, and she's starting to cut back a little bit in this third set. I think she's seeing the ball better, Cliff. She's starting to get behind the ball and be a little bit more forceful, hitting with a little more authority now.
You know, Mary Jo, last week you looked at me like I needed to have my head read when I was talking about there's only 3 points difference with the winners versus unforced errors, you know?
Say it again.
I was trying to make the point that on a clay court, unlike that last court, it's not that easy to hit winners because the court is so relatively slow. And here again, you see that there are more unforced errors, a lot more than winners in this match. I mean, I'm disappointed when you kind of look at me like I'm crazy sometimes.
That happens
a lot.
Frequently. But I still think, I mean, when you think about the power players, when you think of the Williams sisters, and you think of Sharapova, they can still hit through a clay court. Yeah, it might take a little longer sometimes, especially on the red clay that's even slower than the green clay. But there's no reason why second serves, they can't step up and take the initiative right away.
Gee, that's a nice little mix-up play there, that slice that Srebotnik uses it all the time, but Serena doesn't. And
Serena gets a lot of side spin on her slice. It's not the most traditional-looking one-handed slice, but it does the trick sometimes.
Both broken 3 times. Here's another chance for Serena.
I heard one-handed slice. Did someone call me?
That's voice of Tam Schreiber courtside, and she used her one-handed slice very well, but for really only one thing, that is to get into the net.
And Pam, you didn't change your game tactics when you went on clay, did you? You still served and volleyed. You still chipped and charged.
Yes, but just did so with much less confidence. But I did get to a final here one year. My only result ever worth mentioning on clay.
Boy, that's good, isn't it? Strong stuff from Srebotnik.
Even Serena gave a little clap after that winner from the 27-year-old from Slovenia.
Just a quick mention about the clay. I think it really is different. U.S. clay, you can do more things than you can in Europe. I think the conditions are much quicker over here on clay than they are when you hit the red dirt.
I totally agree with that, and we talked about it last week actually, MJ and I. And the ball bounces higher here. It is more slippery, and it is more conducive to the big hitter.
Well, Sharapova said that she felt the court was like a hard court with just a little clay sprinkled on it, and she thought it was playing very fast.
Two, final set.
Missed opportunity from Serena in that last game on break point. Had to look to attack the second serve. Let it get too high, and Srebotnik came back with 2 big serves. Another great forehand on the run from Srebotnik. Just when you think Serena's in control of the point and she opens it up with an angle, Srebotnik just unleashes the forehand side.
Can't fall in love with that slice backhand that we've been talking about. It's nice to throw in every so often, and she remember at the end of that second set when she hit a drop shot, which was perfect, but it could have also been brain cramp if it hadn't have worked.
Exactly.
There's that much difference between the two.
And it's not a natural shot for Serena. It's something that she tries to develop a little bit more when she's on the clay.
30.
A lot more solid for Srebotnik when you see her go to the one-handed slice. She uses it all the time. Good serve here from Serena. Set up the short ball.
Serena's looking for short points also because it could be a fatigue factor coming into play here. I think you get more tired when you're playing on a surface. It's awkward to move on, and it's tougher for you. It's almost 2 hours. It's hot. And hot throughout the match.
30-all.
She had her, Serena. Srebotnik trying to move over to her left to hit a forehand.
Oh, that drives you crazy. That ball just hitting the tape, going back onto Srebotnik's side, and Dementieva now trailing the second set 3-2 against Azarenka after winning the first set, number 4 seed here.
Dementieva just broke back. She was down 3-1.
So they're on serve. Game point. And the game goes to Serena. No breaks here in this third set yet. 3-2. Srebotnik to serve. Very nice picture there on the 10th anniversary issue of ESPN the magazine, and sort of behind the scenes look at how this whole thing was accomplished. See these beautiful pictures in these magazines, and, they're just there, but there's a lot of work that goes into getting them. And Serena,
great cover shot. Venus was here this week. Had to pull out because she's a little ill with the virus, but she's hoping to be back by the Italian Open. Did some stuff for the tournament. Watched Serena play her first match Tuesday night, and also promoted her new line of clothing, 11.
On serve 2-3 third set. Williams sisters, just overall have got a remarkable number of appearances. I mean, they had their Venus and Serena for Real, which was a reality show. They had that for a few years, or I don't know how long that lasted, but
I don't think that long, Cliffy.
But they've been on extraordinary number of, CNN, they've been on ABC Family.
There's that slice again from Serena. She starts so high and gets so much side spin on that slice. There's not a lot of control with it sometimes.
Game Srebotnik, and it's even at 3 apiece. Look, I'm not going to go into all of their critics, but the one thing that does always amuse me is that she was the guest voice, that Venus was, on The Simpsons. So.
Well, Serena's been in a couple sitcoms, and she said that's been put on hold, though, her acting career. She's focusing on her tennis. She says her goal is to be back at number 1. unlucky there catching the tape. She's ranked number 9 at the moment.
Yeah, but she has so few, relatively few tournaments that under her belt. And she's only played 3 this year. Won 2 of them. And when they do the rankings, they divide them. At least in men's, I think it's between 12 tournaments, and I think I'm not sure.
No, I think it's a cumulative. It's a best-up system. Big return from Srebotnik. A little bit of trouble here at 3-all for Serena.
30.
Remember, Serena ran into Justine Henin last year in the last 3 majors and lost to her in the quarterfinals in all 3.
Oh my goodness, what anticipation from Serena. She was down and out in that point at a certain time and then had to go for it one way or the other, and she did, and she was right on top of the net. What's this?
It was the first low volley that was great, and then she closed in beautifully. And we'll look back at that point if Serena can get out of this game. It's a turning point.
That's long. Wow. Katarina Srevotnik from Slovakia is 27 years old. Serena Williams, USA, 26. Palm Beach Gardens in Florida is home for her. 30-all. 3-all. A set-all.
Break point coming up after Srebotnik hits another forehand winner, her 9th of the match.
Break point. That ball on the second serve got up high. Katarina Srevotnik got back up there and tried to hit the forehand side, as you could see, but it was virtually over her head when she made contact with it.
You know, she had committed to attacking it no matter what, and she did. It was a tough one. She had to really get outside that doubles alley to hit that forehand.
Deuce.
125 mile per hour serve from Serena.
Remind me, the record was it 128?
I think so, from Venus. Very close.
I don't know what the record on a clay court is.
Oh boy, that's a terrific comeback from Serena Williams. She holds serve, so we continue to be on serve. No breaks in the third set. Srebotnik to serve and we come back.
In 2003, Serena Williams was playing in her second Family Circle Cup. She played Lindsay Davenport in the far court in the semifinal. Have a win in 3 sets, and then in the final, she'd take on Justine Henin in the near court. This was a tough task for Serena. Justine moving the ball with the heavy spins, with the angles. A little too much for Serena to handle. Justine Henin would win one of 2 Family Circle Cups, and that's the best result from Serena.
And she has become the clay court queen, as you said earlier, just unbeatable apparently on the red clay over Roland Garros. But we'll see this year with the injury to her knee that she is suffering from. Serena leads the head-to-head between her and Justine Henin by 7 matches to 6. It's been an interesting story. Srebotnik serving, trailing 3-4 third set, 15-love.
Just saw the fastest serve a little while ago, and that must have been the fastest forehand of the match. Amazing racket head speed to whip that forehand. Good effort by Srebotnik to get it back. Serena has that ability with just one swing of the racket to turn the tempo of the point in her favor. And that's why the movement becomes so critical, because if she is set up, if she does have the right positioning on the court and she can have the time to hit her shots, look at the power she can generate.
Really strong. She just measured that boxing shot.